That virus now evolves and develops the ability to infect humans, and then critically the ability to go from human to human transmission. And we know that in the rare cases, I think off the top of my head, 400 or 500 cases so far of humans, the mortality rate is extraordinarily high. So to me, this is a major concern. The current outbreak, for want of a better word, in America amongst cows is really concerning as well, and also talks to this issue of transmission. We have to understand in those cow settings, sheds, how H5N1 is transmitting, because it may be evolving into transmitting in different ways. This is a huge concern, and I think we have to more than watch. We have to make sure that if H5N1 did come across to humans with human-to-human transmission, that we were in a position to immediately respond with access equitably to vaccines, therapeutics, and diagnostics.
Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 37 to 39. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Aharon coming back at you with another lesson, and Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right, I'm going to title this video, all right, the next great pandemonium. Okay, the next great pandemonium, and that's a play on words. All right, the word pandemonium, okay, is going, into the pandy, right? But at the same time, it's going to cause a form of hysteria, all right, and a form of confusion, a form of uproar and disorder, okay, upon the face of the earth, that will ultimately usher in the MOTB as the ultimate resolution to all the chaos that's going on around the world, okay? So we got this whole thing about the H5N1 so-called bird flu, okay, and I believe they're going to use that, which we're going to read a couple of articles on, that they're going to use that as a driving force to push for that MOTB. Okay, and when you go into that word, pandemonium, all right, the word pan is a compound word, pan meaning all, and demonium, all right, goes into the Greek word demon, which is demon. Okay, an evil spirit, all right, which technically a demon means an intelligent, all right, demon means intelligent or intelligence. Okay. So that's why you have Esau has his so-called intelligence force, right? The president gets briefed by the intelligence and so on and so forth. And that's because they get their information from demons. Okay, I'm sure many of you have seen. I think it was yesterday. All right, because today I believe today is the 14th, if I'm not mistaken, or 15th, if I'm not mistaken. But yesterday, so-called King Charles, or Prince King Charles, all right, unveiled a statue. And the moment I saw it, I said, "Oh God damn, this guy!" They're not even hiding it anymore. All right, which I believe is all strategic. All right, when you look into the numbers, you might come up with some crazy shit, but it's all strategic when they release these kind of things. They're literally ushering in, all right, a spirit of summoning up a beast. Okay, it's all red background. Again, Esau Edom. Okay, Esau Edom, man. All right, the lawless one. All right, the bringer of confusion and disorder. Okay, the one who's going to commence this pandemonium. Okay, that's about to befall, all right, the inhabitants of the earth. Okay, now let me go into these couple of articles real fast. All right, Lord willing, it's going to be quick and edifying. All right, straight to the point. All right. The first one says H5N1 has mutated, destroying bird populations infecting mammals, and now experts say it's only a matter of time until it jumps to humans, which we did videos on this a few weeks, probably a month or two ago, all right, about how they're gonna, use this to bring about this next demic. And this is probably going to be the one that they use for explaining why all these people are dying. And when I say all these people, we're talking about those who took the J. Remember, they said they had a timeline of 2 to 5 years. Okay, so they might have to explain why all these people are dying. So here we go. Okay, or maybe they could use this as a reason to lay them all out. X them out, right? Hence disease X, right? Continues, says the H5N1 virus has been devastating bird populations and is now infecting mammals too. Is human-to-human transmission next? And are we ready for another demic? You hear that? Right? So again, the news media, whether they be alternative so-called media or not, they're all controlled, because those who allow you to put your information on these platforms, if you're saying something they don't like, hence the truth that we speak, you see the kind of shit that you have to go through. Right? But yet these people get to broadcast their information and so-called expose the inner doings of the wicked. It's not. They just want you to see these things because it matters. Okay, it matters for them to be able to manipulate all sides. They have to be able to tell you some form of truth. Okay, they're not going to tell you the whole truth. All right, because it's all mixed with what they call white lies. Okay, and those are the most deadliest types of so-called information. Okay, disinformation, misinformation, it all comes from the media. All right, just like what we're reading here, they're pushing this propaganda of another so-called demic that's yet to hit, all right, America and the rest of the world. Okay, but we'll see. It's ultimately all biblical prophecy anyway, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, it says, over the past 4 years, a silent demic has been raging. One in which the death toll is believed to number in the hundreds of millions, but which has received remarkably little attention until now. And that's interesting, because if hundreds of millions of people are dying, that's a real deal. That's a big deal. Okay, and this has been happening over the past 4 years. So where's the account for all this? Or are we just now going to start hearing the fear porn of, oh my goodness, cases, this and that. Oh my goodness, people dying. Oh my goodness, these people, bro. Anyway, let's keep going. It says, the demic is in question is bird flu, the H5N1 strain of influenza, which since 2020 has moved far beyond the avian world and into mammals ranging from dairy cattle to domestic pets and species that live on our doorsteps, such as foxes. Interesting how since 2020 this thing has really been taking over the world. Very interesting, right? Anyway, let's keep going. It says, the virus's presence has been detected on every continent, even Antarctica. Yeah, right. So this virus is it got superpowers. Basically, it can work in a hot climate. All right, in Africa and different parts of the Caribbean. All right, and then it can also survive. All right, in places that will go minus 100 degrees. All right, Antarctica and shit like that. It survives over there too. Anyway, it says, while the capability of spreading between humans has yet to evolve, alarm bells were raised last month after a dairy farm worker in Texas contracted H5N1 seemingly from cattle. Now, one thing I'm noticing is they're including any and everything in this so-called spread of a virus. Okay, when you read the top of it, all right, it says that this thing has infected mammals ranging from dairy cattle to domestic pets. Okay, and even animals like foxes and shit. So that you notice that's like, how you guys going around testing to see if foxes have H5N1 too? You know, it's very interesting what's going on. All right. It says it would appear to be the first known case of bird flu jumping to humans from another mammal. There's increasing concern There is increasing concern at the scientific and public health levels, says Dr. Gregory Poland, director of the Mayo Clinic's Vanessa Research Group, who has previously compared the rising infection rates among animals to the rumbles prior to an earthquake. Basically saying the calm before the storm. Okay? While H5N1 is well known for its devastating impact on wild bird populations and poultry farms in the U.S., as of May 5th, 91 million farmed birds have been infected in the U.S. across 48 states. It's very interesting, once again, right? Over the past couple of years, they've been burning out mysteriously. Food processing plants have been going ablaze. And now, chickens being cooked to death, right? Cows, you know what I'm saying? I remember was it last year or 2 years ago? You know, there was a trail of mad black cows that were kind of like dead. They were laying down, stomach bloated, legs straight up, like, you know, they're dead. You know, it looked like some type of poisoning, the way their stomachs swelled up like that. You know, so who knows, man? But they're doing away with food, okay? Killing off the animals, which they've already advertised that, you know, people should start eating bugs and, you know, insects and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That we got to cut back on the meat consumption. But who the hell are you? All right? Who the hell are you? Like, who came to you and said, listen, man, look, we need you to come and do things to help our health. You know, cut out the meat for us. Kill them all off. You know? Just so you could, sell 3D printed meat? What's the point? I thought you were cutting meat out. If you cut meat out, why are you giving an alternative that's 3D printed? It's very interesting. Anyway, so it says Poland has been particularly alarmed by reports of pet cats contracting the virus from cattle and becoming seriously ill or dying. I ain't heard nobody even report some shit like this. If this was real, what would happen? A lot of people on TikTok and all they'll be showing it and sharing it. It'll be a thing. Okay? You're talking about they contracting viruses and becoming seriously ill and dying. Get out of here with that. It says we have very little research to tell us how this is all occurring in cattle and how it is being spread, he says. So why listen to these people, man? But yet, look, when they come out and they start pushing shit, a lot of Americans are gonna listen. Even though they tell you straight up that they have no idea what the hell is going on, you're still gonna have people listen to them, man. All right, it says in the UK, the virologist, Professor Paul Degard, and his team at the Roslin Institute in Edinburgh were awarded an additional £3.3 million grant last year to ramp up their research into bird flu and assess the risk the current strain of H5N1 might pose to humans. Right? What's that? What's that in the book of Psalm? All right, let's see if we can pull that up real quick. Let's see, Psalm 64, I believe. Right? Yeah. This is the book of Psalm chapter 64 and verse 6. It says, they search out iniquities, right? Those researches, those gain of function researches that they're doing in these so-called biolabs, right? Whether it be in a foreign country or whether they be in a military base domestically, or, you know, military bases, I should say, or even college campuses or universities, as we're reading in the article. But it says here, Psalm 64 and 6, they search out iniquities. All right, Esau's research is not based on, I'm doing research to help the world. No, his research is based on destruction, gaining knowledge and how to use it to destroy. Okay, they accomplish a diligent search. Trust and believe they have gone into almost everything you could think about on this earth. Esau done studied it. If it exists, he has information on it. Okay, he has information on it, and they use it for wickedness all the time. I mean, look at they created the whole harp thing. You know, you're talking about the Northern Lights and all that. Apparently, it was a harp. Okay, up there in Alaska. Okay, and then you know you have the CERN, right? doing all this, technologically advanced moves only to bring about evil. That's all they do, right? You got Elon Musk talking about Neuralink, which the Apostle Tahar went into it. I believe the Gematria, if I'm not mistaken. And that thing came out 666, 666, like the whole time, man. I said, oh shit, Neuralink. Okay? So that should tell you something. All right? Man, scriptures is bad, man. Damn. It's crazy. Like literally like on point. Amazing. It says, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Okay? The heart is deep because they go into the darkest parts of shit. The valley of the shadow of death. All right? That's Esau right there. Esau is into all that shit. Okay? Anything that will bring about wickedness, disorder, confusion, that's what he studies up on. Okay? That's what he studies up on. So going back to the article, it says, now that it seems fairly widespread in the cow population in the U.S., that's a much more direct route where it could transmit to people and gain the adaptations it needs to go demic. You hear this shit? It's like they're excited. It's like they're creating it and they're excited about it. But when it happens, people go and follow orders and do as they're told, because why not? The Roslin team's task is to determine the precise changes in the viral sequence that seem to be allowing it to infect cows, and then test the strain on human cells and many organs in the lab. Guess what? This is basically Esau doing witchcraft, right? It tells you in Isaiah 47, stand now with thine enchantments, right? Guess what? All these things you're doing is not going to work. Like as I'm reading it, I'm picturing it in my head of how it says what the task is to determine the precise changes in the viral sequence that seem to be allowing it to infect cows. So they're doing research and testing, trying to find shit out, but it's not going to stop the Lord's destruction that's coming to this place. Okay? Whatever Esau's going to touch, the Lord is going to make it for him to use it against the world. All right? So prepare for some shit. Prepare for the next great pandemonium. Okay? It says the ultimate goal will be to predict whether it is starting to become more dangerous to humans and animals, right, that live in close proximity to us, and feed that information back to the relevant public health authorities. All right? So there you have it. All right? They finally got something that could go from animals to people. So now they can come up with one solution for all. You know what I'm saying? The animals get this, the people get that. Ultimately, they're blending people in with cattle. Remember, they call people goyim, right? So it's very interesting that H5N1 is attacking cattle, and they're going to be using that same way they're treating the cattle, euthanizing, killing them off because the virus got them. They might start doing that with people. There'll be no more, okay, the hospitals got overpacked. No, this time you're going to be sent into the Q, was a Q zone? Yeah, the Q zone. All right, in the movie Songbird. All right, which the Q stands for quick death. That's what the guy said. All right. So let's go into the next article real fast. I'm gonna wrap it up quick. All right, it says former CDC director says BF bird flu will be the great demic. He's just putting it out there. He didn't say it might or could. He said, bang, it will be. All right. And this man has spoken about these things before. A couple of years ago, he said that, the flu, so-called bird flu or Marburg or something, was going to be the one that takes hold and becomes the next demic, right? So let's see. It says, for whatever reason, former CDC director Dr. Robert Redfield wasn't there for us during the demic. He was part of the Fauci-Birx-Collins team focused on Vanessa's. He spoke to News Nation and said BF would be the next demic because of the dangerous gain of function scientists are currently working on in universities. There you go. There you go. I believe we mentioned this earlier. There you go. Okay. It says it takes 5 amino acid changes for it, BF, to be effectively infecting humans. That's a pretty heavy species barrier that the virus is already now in 26 mammal species, as you saw most recently, cattle. But in the laboratory, I could make it highly infectious for humans in months. No wonder shit has been quiet the first half of the year. Cause these devils was back in, they're doing shit. These labs, they quietly cooking up some shit. Okay? And when they're ready, they release it in small pockets in small different areas. And next thing you know, it takes over, starts creeping in. Oh, there's this county over here is getting a spike in this. Oh, this state over here is getting a spike in this. All of a sudden, next thing you know, boom, everything is going back to draconian ways. Okay. It says I don't think that research should be done. That's the real threat. That's the real biosecurity threat that these university labs are doing. These bio experiments that are intentionally modifying viruses and bird flu, I think, is going to be the cause of the great demic. So he's basically saying that it's man-made. All right, he's outright telling you that it's man-made. They're doing it in universities and shit. All right, it says they're teaching these viruses how to be more infectious for humans. Gilbert said the next one, man, that'll get their attention. So he's excited for these things, right? It says the anchor asked Redfield if he thought we would ever know for certain that the last demic was a lab leak. Well, I mean, come on. All right, come on. We're not doing this. Okay. But again, this all makes sense. Okay. Going back to their plan that, once this thing pops off, they're going to bring those so-called health passport apps back. Okay. And that's going to be what? They're going to go from that shit. It's going to be a short-lived experiment, which is going to open up the way, because the health passport will pretty much pave the way for the MOTB. Okay, because the health passport goes into your ID, your digital ID. This time it's not going to be, a fake card and people. No. You're going to have to be, digitally updated. Okay. You're going to have some form of app, something that connects you to, the Internet of Things. And they're going to move from those health passport apps to a more convenient, the MOTB, the RFID microchip implants, right? That will pretty much allow, constant 24/7 monitoring of your health. Remember, it's endemic. New measures will be put in place to keep people safe. Okay? Whether it's real or not, this is what they're going to do. All right? And they're going to be monitoring your health. They're going to be monitoring your movements. Okay? Your contacts, and of course your digital payments, all tied together. And with the CHIP, basically your privacy is completely gone. But initially, it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be voluntary. You know what I'm saying? And once it's normalized to a degree, right, it will become mandatory, right, with the penalty of death. All right, as is written, all right, guillotine for anyone who won't comply. Okay, so that's the next thing, man. All right, that's the next thing. Okay, that's the next thing. All right, so we're almost there, man. All right, let me get this quick precept here. All right, this is what they're setting up for, and this is all happening, all right, and here in America, Babylon the Great. All right, it's the book of Job, chapter 10, verse 22. It says, "A land of darkness, as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness." Okay, and that's talking about here, America, Babylon the Great. All right, now it's talking about, ultimately the grave, all right, when you die, but that is pretty much synonymous with America. Okay, spiritual Sodom and Egypt. All right, where the Lord's people, all right, were brought here, right? To be put to hardcore slavery as a punishment for our sins. Okay, it says what our dead bodies lied in the street of that great city. Okay, that great city is a shadow of death, right? A shadow is the dark part of anything moving, right, or anything at all. You see the dark shade of it. Okay, so think of the dark shade of death. All right, that's you know what I'm saying. That's America for you. Okay, America promotes, everything is all about death, death, death. Nothing is a promotion of life. All right, everything they do promotes death. All right, in so many different ways. Your food that you eat is gonna kill you. Right, when you go to a store, a grocery store, is either you got poison or you got some shit that's toxic that will over time cause some problems to you. Right, the air that we breathe is all chemical infested. The water we drink is all chemical infested. All right. The clothes we wear is all chemical infested. You know what I'm saying? The medication that people even take, that shit got demons on it. That's why people get addicted. Okay. It's all, like the scripture says, they're physicians of no value, forgers of lies. Okay. So why would you believe people that their whole sole purpose is set on destroying? All right. Scripture says, never trust thine enemy. See, but only the elect are the ones who are given that eye salve to see in the darkness. All right. That oil, you know what I'm saying? That oil that's greased around the eyes of the elect, kind of like an owl. So we could see even in the shadow of darkness. Okay. What's that? Second Corinthians or 1 Corinthians 2:11. All right, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right. So yeah, man, we know all this shit is leading to one thing and one thing only. And that is the mandatory implementation of the MOTB under penalty of death to those who don't comply. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to leave it off there. Lord willing, you're edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakodash, the water Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, and until next time, Shalom.